Today is July 20th, 2017. Back with the Stocks to Trade daily recap. Two of the most interesting stocks I'm going to go over today, but there is a lot going on in this market. SPU is pushing to new highs. A lot of stocks, but I'm going to focus on two today. So we're going to go over the early day idea on IMNP, immune pharmaceuticals. So something I talk about a lot is the low float scan. This was picked up on there. That is the trend. Early movers, that's the trend. Whole dollar, half dollar breaks. And what's beautiful about IMNP is this is the kind of trade, the kind of stock that there is, not only multiple entries, but multiple approaches. I mean, you can, the idea we went over this morning was the early AM break, the long trade, and then, ended up being a great short. If you avoid pre-market trading and you're more short bias, I'm going to go over both those setups. So I was looking at this gap up this morning on news. News is fluffy, but there was news. Right at 8 a.m. was the catalyst. The nice thing about Stocks to Trade is you can turn on the alerts and you can see right at 8 a.m. on your chart is the news. Again, I'm not going to make any sort of judgment on the quality of the news. There's news. The stock is low float. It's heavily shorted. That's the kind of stock that runs. Watched it all morning after that spike. Kind of got this base at 4 with a morning low around 370, 375. Kind of trade that I look to make, that I think any trader should focus on. You now have a whole dollar break on a heavily shorted stock with news that's low float. You have a clear risk in that 375, 380 area. And if it runs, you can make 50, 75 cents. If you're perfect, maybe you make $1 on it. Great risk to reward. If you're going to risk potentially lose 25 cents, you don't want to be making a trade that best case scenario you're making 25 cents. One-to-one risk reward is not ideal. Sometimes you make one-to-one risk to reward trades. Sometimes you make worse than one-to-one risk to reward trades. But you always want to target something that gives you at least the potential that you can make 2-to-1, 3-to-1, 4-to-1 in this instance. So the idea was to take that $4 entry with a risk on 375. Stock ran to 502 in minutes. Then, as I mentioned, if you're short bias, was something that I look for a lot for a short entry is basically, a top based on a 5-minute candle. Is that guaranteed? No, but the thing touches 5. You get your first red candle, and you look to potentially enter maybe at 450 and set risk on the high of the day. Now, 50 cents of risk on a short sell is a pretty wide stop, but as long as you know that's your plan, you can, make sure you stop out if this thing gets squeezy and goes back the other way. In this instance, and this is hindsight trading on the short, obviously, say you take that short at 450 with risk on 5, you're now up basically $1.50 a share, 3-to-1 risk to reward. Stock's making new lows. Looks like it could crack into the close. Just want to go over the opportunity both ways on these type of stocks. You could be long bias and make money. You can be short bias and make money. There's all kinds of opportunity in this market. Other most interesting stock of the day was NADL. Tons of opportunity in this. You could see the volume come in early. Maybe you buy the 225 break. I was targeting the 250 break. So you buy 250, maybe you risk 225. Again, basically an instant move to $3 plus. More, really a parabolic type move. I mean, look at all these 5-minute green candles. If you enter at 250, if you're a day trader, obviously you probably want to take a 50-cent move in minutes. That's a solid trade. You're done at 10:30 a.m. with your day trade. You can move on. I know pretty much anybody, depending on your position size, obviously going to be pretty happy with a 50-cent gain. Then This is one that, this thing has been strangely strong recently. I saw some rumors about buy-ins on this. It's holding VWAP, kind of holding around 3. It's 2:30 p.m. right now. Lots of times that's where we'll see these stocks pick a direction. So I personally think this thing if it breaks that 3 level, gets to 310, this thing could really push today. Otherwise, if it fails, it would be a no touch for me. But again, 2:30 area, 3 p.m., get into that power hour. You're going to see that's where the stock's going to pick a trend. So IMNP, NADL, both low floats, both big runners, both tons of opportunity in these stocks. All of these are found, the news, the screeners, the charts, everything in StocksToTrade. So thanks a lot, guys, and we'll see you tomorrow.